catching myself leaning forward too much, especially in the mirror. So I had the great reveal. I talked about the great reveal this time of year. I bought 2 bathing suits. That was hard, but I got over it. And I've been looking in the mirror, so not so much about my body, but noticing where I need to do bring some special attention. And a lot of it is I'm leaning forward. I'm noticing that. So let's, find your stance and then connect to the energy that's below you and the energy that's above you and align the spine. Oh, great little thing there. Align the spine. So we're aligning the spine. Fingertips are like little lightning rods. The palms and the feet are highly energized areas of the body that we can feel that energy immediately. And then place the palms of the hands facing down, and then just a little bit of a bounce, like you've got these little energy balls, and you're just kind of bouncing them a little. Remember when we were kids, we used a lot of balls. I know we did as kids, kickball, all those games, throwing the ball, catch. We don't do that so much anymore, but you could kind of understand the feeling of balls and bouncing them. It's kind of a neat thing. And then we start to draw this earth energy. And then as we start to do this, there's a lifting up now. There's a lengthening, there's a growing. Then lift the palms of the hands up and then just fluff the balls above you. In fact, I think the picture that Lynn did, I think was holding 2 balls, or there was like 2 energy balls in the hands, if I remember right. Take a look at it. I emailed it to everybody. And then we're lifting the fingers now up towards the ceiling. So now there's this rooting down. So you can bend the knees a little bit, root down, and then feeling from the bottom of the spine all the way up as you start to grow a little bit, maybe come up onto the toes. And now we start some movement here. As you shift into the heels, then start to return down, and we're just going to pump a little bit. Just pump a little bit and start to welcome the energy around you. Now, this next time we'll do it again. We're going to lift up. And then now let's take a little turn to one side and take in your environment. Doing this with soft eyes and a soft gaze and an inner smile. So you're welcoming the day. You're looking up at the sky. We know that there's a sun above there. And then we turn to the other side, and you're just taking these 2 energies, maybe fluff them a little bit, and then let them just move through you. Let all this energy start to move through you. Now we're going to do this again. We're going to take the energy again, lifting up, looking up, turning to one side. We're moving the energy around us. We have, 3 feet around us is our auric field. And we're just kind of fluffing that energy coming up to the other side. Also, we're going to remove some garbage that you don't want to hold on to, like weeding the garden, like Lydia had said. We're going to weed a little bit and start to pluck out anything we don't want to hold on to as we release it. Release the turbidity. Get that out of you. Now this time we're going to start to open up the heart. Since we're talking about the heart, this was part of that 18 pieces that we did of Tai Chi, opening up the heart. So we open up, keep your arms shoulder height, open up the heart. And then you exhale, return back to the earth. So again, we're taking this heart energy and we're starting to open it, open up the heart. We're safely opening up our heart. We're getting this energy starting to move in the heart space. So we're inhaling, open up. And it's more tender. It's not a rough opening. We're not like that right now. We're just tenderly starting to get the heart system to start to open, starting to get the pumping action going. So we inhale, we rise up, we open up that heart space. We exhale, we shift lightly back down into the earth. Coming up again into the heart space, open up and shift gently back down to the earth. We're going to do this other one, parting the clouds to reveal the sun. It was another part of that 18 pieces of Tai Chi that we did. Revealing, opening up, moving the clouds around to reveal the sun. Lots of sun this time of year. Hopefully it's coming your way in the East Coast, or it is today. It's out today. So we're parting the clouds to reveal the sun. Parting the clouds to reveal the sun. We're also doing a little crossover here too, which is nice. A nice fluff up of the energy. And then we inhale, parting the clouds to reveal the sun, and then release. Let's bring the pinky fingers. Remember, the heart meridian line and the small intestine meridian line are in the pinky finger. So they're gently going to touch each other. Bring the legs together and then take your left foot out. As we inhale, we're going to scoop up that earth energy Release it up towards the sun, all the way up. Take that sun energy so the backs of the hands, the fingertips are touching and the backs of the hands are touching. And then you come back down to the earth, releasing the hands up and then come back to center. We'll do this again. Pinky fingers are touching each other. Take that right foot out to the side, inhaling, scooping the earth, reaching towards the sun to start to grow for the season. And then we return, we take that beautiful sun energy, we release it back down into the earth. We slowly come up and we exhale, we come back to center. And then again, out to the side, scoop up the earth, take that sun energy, backs of the hands touch as we slowly release back down into that earth energy, that energy that helps us grow, keeps us connected to that energy below you. And then again, grabbing, scooping up the earth, reaching up towards the sun. Take that sun ray and let the sun rays just move through you, releasing any debris from the spring. And then we slowly come back up and we return back to our center. Let's do this one more time. Taking that beautiful earth energy, the soil, and the sun, and we mix those two, and then we plant, the seeds have been planted and they're all starting to grow. That inspiration is starting to grow as we return back to center. And then let's start some shaking. So a little bit more activity to the system. We want to get the system working. We're plugging in our circulatory system, getting the respiratory system going, getting our fluids moving, synovial fluid, a cerebral fluid, your lymphatic fluid, blood fluids. All the fluids are starting to move and circulate, getting some of that fluid to your the synovial fluid is good for your joints. You're lightly bouncing a little bit on the feet, and we're going to purge a little bit now. So we inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth, start to purge any turbidity, inhaling light, inhaling that sunlight of the early summer, and then exhale out through the mouth and purge out any turbidity, any smoke, black smoke, just let it go. Inhaling that beautiful sun energy, the early morning summer. And then when you're ready, exhale out through the mouth and let it go. So shaking it out, releasing any congestion, getting the fluids moving, feel it in the neck and feel it in the spine and feel it in the head, feel it in the arms, feel it in the legs, and shake it all out. So you might have noticed more people are starting to talk about this vibrational shaking. I see it in commercials, they're selling things that help you shake your body. So it's happening. I could see the trend starting to happen. Just observing what's going on in our population. But they're adding this a lot to different kinds of exercising that I've noticed. So we're shaking it out and then stop, feeling this beautiful energy in the palms of the hands, between the palms of the hands. As you inhale, let's draw in and expand. Start to feel your body expanding. Like if you watched a flower in slow motion, it just starts to expand up. Everything's coming up. That's the energy of the season. As we exhale, we shift into the heels and we compress now. We compress that energy. You can roll forward just a little bit. Inhale, we're naturally moving like a plant, open up. And then as you exhale, release, and getting the pumping action of the breath. So we inhale through the nose. You can continue with purging breath, exhaling out through the mouth and start to release. Inhaling, expand, and then exhale, return. I'm going to take this a little bit deeper. Let's bring the palms of the hands out to the side, clapping them, crane's beak. Now we're getting the stretch through the palms. Remember, we have a lot of stuff, a lot of those meridian lines coming out through the fingers. So really spread the fingers, move them around, move the wrist around, backs of the arms and the hands come together. We come up the buttons, and then we slowly come forward. You don't have to come all the way forward yet. This might be your first forward fold. Just let the head drop here. Let it go. And then as you slowly come up, the wrist touch, offering the fruit, spreading those fingers again, open up here. So we're opening up some meridian lines in the arms. A lot of the movements in this time of year are using the arms. And then we use the support of the legs. We start to strengthen the larger muscle groups of the legs Backs of the hands come together, come up your butt and slowly start to come forward. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit further. Check how your spine's feeling. Be aware of what's going on there. If you haven't done any forward folds, you want to be careful with your first forward folds if it's been a while. Pushing the pillars away, stretch, move the fingers, the wrists. Backs of the arms come together, up the buttons, and then slowly start to come forward. Now we're going to hang here. Bring your elbows on your thighs. Let the head just hang here. Shake it out. Release the arms, and we're going to cross the arms like you're swishing water below you. You're looking for the pearl. Looking for the pearl in the water. That's what this one's called. But just let it go. Let your head hang. Just swishing the water. Kind of crossing over here, moving the water around, looking for the pearl. And then bring your hands back onto your thighs. Inhale, we're going to arch the back into the dog tilt. Exhale, round into your cat tail. This is called cat gazes at the moon. And then inhale again into your dog. You're going to take your right shoulder over to your left knee, pressing that right hand on the inside of the knee, separating little space in your hips, looking up at the ceiling if you can. And then you come back to center, you round the spine as you exhale. Inhale into the dog, taking that left shoulder over to the right knee. And then there's a little bit of a twist. You're looking up at the ceiling. Come back to center, drop, round the spine again. Relax the arms, slowly come up one vertebrae at a time, stacking each vertebrae on top of each other as you slowly come back to center. Let's bend one knee. We're just shifting over to one side and then the other side. So you're getting some movement here on the inner thighs. A little bit of movement on the inner thighs. Now, if you want to take it deeper, then you can make it a little bit bigger, little bit wider, getting the inner thighs and the outer leg starting to keep getting a little bit of movement here. And then slowly come up. Bring the legs back together. We're going to do a little twist here. Start small. Now, the small intestine meridian line comes up the pinky, and it comes on the outside of the arm to the back of the shoulder. We have a lot of meridian lines in the shoulders for small intestine. So if you want, you can also give yourself a slap on the back of the shoulder, waking up that small intestine. And then, then you can tap your lungs. Always good to do that on a daily basis, tapping the lungs. Might have some allergies or anything to start to get heavy on the lungs. And then twisting the whole spine. So this is called knocking on the door of life. It's a twisting action of the spine. Great way to wring it out. Maybe you can separate the feet and make this a little bit wider. I also like to fling. It's called flinging the arms. It's another nice way to get the thoracic spine open, which is hard area to get to. So I like to do that. You can also do it this way, a little bit deeper in the upper shoulder joint. I like to do that as well. Again, a hard area to get to, a twist, and then slowly bring it down to a stillness. Let's inhale, gather, and let's use the sound ah, ah, very decompressing. Inhale, gather, ah. And then we'll do the ah by just stroking the heart. You inhale and ah. Nice deep breath in through the nose and soothe the heart. Just check in, subtle awareness, noticing how you're feeling in your posture. Bringing the backs of the hands are facing forward, and you're going to press back with the hands. Tuck that tailbone under, drop your chin to your chest, opening up, bringing your left ear to your left shoulder. Begin to feel that stretch on the right side of your neck, right down to the fingertips. Exaggerate the fingers, separate them, open up that space, and then you just nod a little bit. So the neck gets pretty tight, I would say, for most of us. So we're just moving that around, coming over to the other side, right ear to right shoulder. You can feel this right down into the fingers and then nod. So my neck's really tight. Didn't realize how tight it was till I did this. And then bring the head back to center. You can interlace the fingers, press them down, then lift them up, round the spine and move the hands forward. Let's bring them all the way up onto the toes, drop the heels, and then we're coming over to the side. So we're doing a couple of things here. Again, getting some movement in the spine, up on the toes, over to the other side, and then just let the arms relax. Let's do this again. Interlace the fingers, drop them down, lift them up, push away, tuck the tailbone under, chin to chest. Take a few breaths here and breathe into the back body. Feel the movement of the back body arrive. Pay a lot of attention to the front body, but we have a back body, we have a side body. So we want to move every day in every way, move the spine in those 4 flexions, forward and back, side to side, and a twist. So this is doing all that. Back to the other side, release the arms. We'll do this one more time, pressing down, lifting up, pushing forward around the spine, lifting up onto the toes, drop the heels over to one side, onto the toes again, over to the other side, and let the arms just relax. Let's start a rotation with the foot. So you can bring it in front of you one and rotate the knee along with the ankle and with the foot. Now this is flip-flop season, sandal season. Do not recommend wearing flip-flops too much, only because it's easily to slip out of them. I know they're easy and convenient, but maybe especially for driving or for walking, don't wear them. Wear something a little bit more sturdy. But our feet are going to be exposed a lot right now to the elements, and also, get that hip into it as well. And then let's do the other side. One direction, get the knee into it, get the hip into it, other direction, all the way around. Now, another nice thing you can do if you want to hold on to a chair, well, bring the top of your foot on the floor and then a little bit of weight on it. That's for the front of that ankle, and then do the other side. So a little bit of pressure on those toes, and you'll feel it's a great stretch for the ankle and the front of the foot especially. And then release. Hands onto the low back, and we're doing a rotation of the hips. Again, this always feels nice to me. You want to feel this big rotation. You can also do it small. Sometimes the small rotation feels good too. Actually, it's a little bit deeper when I do it this way. Then bring the hands to your ribs, and I want you to feel your ribs moving. Feel the ribs. It's easy to feel the ribs here with the hands. So feel that movement, that rotation. And then bring it up to the upper part of the ribs, the chest, and start to get that rotation there. Get the shoulders into it all the way around. Take it to the other direction. And then you could bring the head and the neck into it and just kind of move however you want to move. But get that rotation in the body, feeling. Just make any kind of movement, especially rotation right now, and get some movement. Let's try the arm. Do you have full rotation of the arm? Again, the great reveal, what's going on? Do you need to add more stretching to your day? Is there any kind of clicking, or do you feel limited in your movement? So the great reveal, we want to do our checking in, the great reveal, I call it, of where your body's going to need some extra tenderness, some extra work. Let's work on the legs now. Rotate the legs. So it's good to hold on to a chair or a wall, and shift your weight on your right leg. Then you're just going to kickstand the left toes, so that the left toes are pressing down. Also, your whole right foot is pressing down. And we can add a little balance to this as well. Have something nearby that you could hold on to if you need to. You want to engage your abdominals, and then we're lifting. Just bring the palms of the hands facing up, and you're going to lift the arms up with your left knee. So we're lifting up, and then we bring it down. We're going to shift to the other side. Press down with the feet, and then start to lift this knee up as high as you can. You can use the hands to help guide this. Shift over, and we're just going from side to side. So can you do this without holding on to anything? And you're checking in now with your balance. The eyes are soft, and drop down. Find something to gaze on. And you're just going from one, lifting up to the other foot, lifting up to the other foot. Again, checking on your balance, lifting up, engage the abdominals. That's really going to help. Lift down. The other thing that's going to help is lift the toes up to the ceiling and then release down. Take your time with this. Notice what's going on. Where is what leg feels weaker? Sometimes one side is more balanced. Soft gaze. You're breathing in and out and you're returning. You're lifting up and return. Now we're going to do again, to bring the weight on the left leg, kickstand the left toes, and then lift up and then do a rotation. Again, you might need something to hold on to. In fact, I'm going to hold on to the wall and try to get a full rotation. You're doing a figure 8 with the hip. The great reveal, is this an area? Can you bring your leg back? Can you bring the leg forward? Can you bring it out to the side? And just find the movement, the full rotation. Maybe bring the leg forward and back and find, notice how that hip is feeling. And we'll do the other side. So I'm doing a figure 8 with my hip. But you do, what you need to do. But again, the great reveal, what's tight here, what needs to open up. So I was having hip pain, and a lot of it was because my IT band was so tight. And once that broke up, then I was able to have full range of my hip joint. So we're just checking in of how your body's feeling. Inhale, and then resettle yourself. Settle down. Settle down. Let's do one more balancing. Let's do a forward fold first. Again, if you want to use the wall for this, you can. Remember, you come forward a little bit, and then you place your sit bones or your hips on the wall. And as you start to come forward, you can feel those sit bones. So I can feel my sit bones. You don't have to do this against the wall if you don't want to. But if you're using the wall, that's how we do it. You can soften the knees, come forward, pressing those sit bones into the wall, and come into your forward fold that way. If you're not doing that, you want to engage the abdominals for sure. Bring your hands to the hips, soften the knees a little bit. You're coming forward in a flat back. Get that lengthening first, and then we can start rolling forward. You can round the spine here and start coming forward. Check in. Where in your body do you need the work? The great reveal. Maybe this is the first forward fold you've done in a while. Check in how that feels in your body, because we want the whole back body stretched from the toes to the fingers. When you're ready, you bend the knees, you place your hands on your thighs for support, and you roll up. Not with a flat back, you're rolling up, stacking each vertebrae on top of each other. And then as you come up, let's stretch up again, stretch everything here. We'll do this again. Keep the low back engaged, because you don't want to hurt your back. And don't go any further than, if you feel any discomfort in the low back, you don't go any further. You can bend your knees as much as you need. And then when you're ready, maybe take the hands to the thighs. Maybe that's all for you today, and that's fine. Maybe you can bring your hands to your shins or the ankles. Again, notice, okay, where am I tight? Because if the whole back is tight, it's going to affect your hips. It's going to affect your legs. It's going to affect your shoulders and your neck and your head. So real important, you're paying attention to the back side of your body. Soften the knees, hands on thighs, roll up. Stacking each vertebrae on top of each other. Keep everything nice and stable. And then let's bring the arms up, come up onto the toes and stretch. We're going to do one more here, because these are something you want to try to do every day. Really engage those abdominals, take it forward. Now, if you get dizzy, don't take it past your hips. You can see, I can still stretch here because I'm pulling back with my tailbone and I'm lengthening with my crown of my head, and I'm still getting the stretch here. So, do what feels comfortable for you. And slowly come up. Now, another thing, if you have a tight IT band, and we all do, another way to do a forward fold, and again, you don't have to do this, but you cross one leg over the other, really engage your inner thighs here, and then you come forward. Now, you can use a chair for this and hold on to the chair, and you'll feel that stretch deep in that IT band. Now, I could not have done this a couple of weeks ago, but I've been practicing it quite a bit, and oh my God, it's a really deep IT band stretch. So again, you can do it holding onto the wall, cross the feet, and take yourself forward until you start feeling that. And that IT band's on the outside. It attaches from the hip joint to the outside of the knee. It's a long band, and it's a hard one to get to. And then let's shake out the legs. Okay, now that we're nice and stretched, circulated, stimulated, we're going to add some squats. Again, you can use the wall where you place the feet on the floor, your back is on the wall, and you just sit here until if you start to feel a little bit of a burn. Now, if you don't have the wall handy, then you can use a chair as well to bring yourself into a squat. Maybe separate the legs a little bit more, and you can squat this way. I really like to do these at my kitchen counter because I can hold on to my kitchen counter and squat up and down. So that's another thing you can do. So let's do some squatting with or without the wall, with or without the chair. Just bring the hands in front of you, align your body, real important, and just bend the knees, and we squat like we're ready to come sit in a chair. And down. Really good for the hips and your glutes. So use the arms, try to do at least 5 of them. Check in, can you do this? If you lose the strength in the thighs, it's going to be hard to walk. It's going to be hard to take steps. It's going to be hard to get in and out of a car. So the squatting, using these larger muscle groups to be able to hold us up, basically. So remember, we're not just our shoulders, we're not just our legs. The whole body's one unit, and one thing affects the other. And as we, if you have an injury, it's going to affect, of course, that area, and that could be a hot spot for you. Again, it's just knowing your body and checking in. So the great reveal, what's going on in your body right now? So I need something to drink. It's getting hot. So check in with all those different parts that we just worked. Let's gather, reset, subtle awareness. Do you feel strong in your body? Are you rooting down and lengthening up? Does your posture feel nice and aligned? Do you feel the energy moving through you? Do you feel maybe your heart rate's up a little bit from doing that little bit of extra work that we did? Let's work our proprioceptors, and then we're going to come into some more balancing. So the proprioceptors help you balance. They help you navigate your place in space. They get dull. Proprioceptors are the outside of the skin, palms of the hands, feet, and around the mouth are your high proprioceptor areas. But let's start tapping the body. So we're tapping the head, and you can use your purging breath when you're doing this because we're activating a lot here. A lot of gallbladder meridians in the head, if you remember from last season. And then tap around the eyes, tap around the face, the jaw, especially vagus nerve, tap around the mouth, proprioceptors, high proprioceptor centers. Really proprioceptor, if you're traveling, if you're going to have to walk a lot and navigate, proprioceptor tapping is really beneficial so you don't fall over. I know airports make me very nervous because there's just so many people coming and going. I'm like kind of dodging. So this is a great way to get those proprioceptors stimulated. Now we're stimulating our whole chest region here where you have your kidneys, you have your thymus gland, and the lungs. So we're doing lots of stimulation here. Then we're going to tap right along the inside of the arm, which is your lung meridian, part of the heart meridian. Clap the hands, proprioceptors again. Outside of the arm, small intestine, taking it all the way up to the back of the shoulder. It's actually small and large intestine in that area. We're going to tap around the breast tissue, underneath the armpit, which is your heart meridian number 1, down the side of the body, and then we'll come over to the other side. So we're going to try to get the heat to the surface of the skin, so you're pink, plump, and moist, right? You've calmed down your nervous system by just your inner smile. Inner smile will calm down the nervous system immediately because it activates the jaw, which is part of that vagus nerve, underneath the armpit, down the side of the rib cage. And then we're going to tap the whole body. So again, stimulation, shaking, stimulation, good for the whole system. Let's tap and slap the groin because we've got lymph nodes here, getting them going so they can break up all your toxins in the system. Then we tap around the front of the hip, the side of the hips. You can feel that hip bone, that whole pelvis region, stimulate your glutes all around that area. And then we're going to, let's massage the kidneys and let's jump a few times on the heel, stimulating kidneys, kidney meridians, kidneys, down the bladder meridian. Stimulate the back to the feet, inside, and then let's go down the sides of the legs, gallbladder meridian, and then up stomach meridian, and then tap from right to left around your whole digestive system, dantian, right by the belly, tap, 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 hold. Oh, hopefully you feel stimulated. Let's inhale and rise up, and exhale, ha, let the junk out. Inhale up, ha, let it out. Inhale up, ha, let it out. Inhale up, ha, let it out. And a big, big stretch here. A couple big crossovers, waking up the system, waking up the brain, and then return. Subtle awareness, align yourself, find your breath, find your feeling the blood flow moving through your body. Let's quiet the heart using the sound of like a soothing a baby, quieting it down, quiet, 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 and hold. Subtle awareness. Let's we're going to do some more balancing, but I want to activate the core here, the inner thighs. Shift the weight to your right leg and take your left toes behind you. So you're like curtsying, and then you bend both knees. The back knee kind of hits the front knee, and engage the inner thighs. Really engage them to really support this. Palms of the hands come together, and you're bringing your hands over to your left as your head comes to the right. Breathe. Don't hold the breath here. Breathe. Really activates, again, the glutes, inner thighs, hips. Bring the weight now, shift it to your left side, taking your right toes, crossing behind you, bend both knees. This back knee's hitting my front knee, and activate your inner thighs, especially. Palms of the hands come together. Bringing the hands over to your right, head comes to the left. So it's part of balancing too. Do you have the strength in the inner thighs to hold you here? Great. Reveal and release. Find your alignment again. Maybe have a chair or a wall behind you. Let's check our balance. Equally bring the feet together. The weight is shifted, so you're standing in complete alignment. Engage the legs and your core and your inner thighs. Bring the weight onto your right toe, on your right foot. Come onto your left toes like a kickstand. Soft gaze, something to focus on, hands on hips. When you're ready, you can soften the knees a little bit. When you're ready, then lift the left leg up. If you want, we're coming into tree. Now you can keep the heel right on your ankle if you want and do your tree that way and see if you can come into the full tree. If you want to go further, then you bring that foot on the inside of the knee or above the knee or below the knee, taking that left knee out to the side, and then you can come into your full tree. So I'm having a little difficulty here, so I have to align myself. Remember, tree sway. Engage the abdominals will help And then try the other side. So I'm a little weak on that side. Note to self, great reveal. The side's easier for me for some reason. So work at your own pace, try both sides. The second time, what changed for you? So when I focused on something, that changed my balance immediately. When I engaged my core, that changed my balance immediately. When I breathe, it changes. So you have to have awareness of your body. You can't just haphazardly do this. You want to engage everything, the core, the legs. Settle in, great reveal, what's going on. Take anything out, move your body in any way it needs to. We're going to come into some flow. One thing I forgot to do if you want to do your thighs, stretch the thighs. Forgot about that. So do what you need to do before we come into our flow, our Tai Chi flow. Everything's open now, hopefully. Your breath is open. Your body is open. It's ready to receive the day. But we're going to move into the day with a little bit of flow. So we're not anxiously moving through it. We're going to gradually flow into it because now the system's up and going. The system's up and going. We've turned on all these applications. Let's start to lean forward and back. And then find the breath. Taking one foot out to the side a little bit. Let's open the flow. So we inhale, we lift up, remember, on the ball mounts of the feet. Shift back into the heels. Come back. Inhaling. Soft gaze, inner smile. Find that peaceful, tender flow. Nothing stiff. We're not Frankenstein's monster. We're flowing, and the whole body's moving. I'm moving forward on the ball mounts of the feet. I'm shifting back. My arms are coming up and down. It's a continuous flow. So turn on your flow. The feeling of that. The movement of the energy in your body. The movement in the energy around you, feeling that in your fingertips. Maybe the fingertips are a little tingling. The palms are lifting that earth energy, and we're shifting back. I'm going to do the 4 directions. Open up the 4 directions. So we lift up, push out, bring it in. Excuse me, bring down. Inhale up, push away, bring it in and down. Inhale, exhale, 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 inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Grab the bird's tail. So we inhale, we're opening up, taking your right finger to your left elbow, and then you turn over to your right, taking that back hand, bring it forward, bird's tail, push forward and release. Third finger touches the inside of the right elbow. We turn over to our left, grabbing the bird's tail. Take that back arm, bring it forward into the bird's tail, push forward. separate. Other side. Grabbing the bird's tail behind, pressing the palms like a butterfly, push forward, release. Grabbing the bird's tail, going over to your left, bird's tail, grabbing the bird's tail, release. Right finger to the left elbow, turning to your right, grabbing the bird's tail, push forward and separate. Other side. Grabbing the bird's tail, pushing forward, separate. Grabbing the bird's tail, pushing forward and separate. Grabbing the bird's tail, doing a kind of side view, pushing the bird's tail and separate. Finger two. So this is, we're activating the heart meridian. It's heart number 3, I believe, in the elbows. Other side. Takes a little bit of practice to get this one. But once you get it, it's a really pretty movement. Soft gaze, inner smile, pushing the bird's tail, and then gather and set. Right hand on top, left on the bottom. One's by the chin or mouth, one's by your dantian, the lower belly. And then we turn this energy ball. We're turning this huge ball of energy. Huge ball of energy. And then when the right hand's on top, we're going to turn to our left. Then turn the ball. Keep the ball nice and big. Coming over to the other side. Turn the ball. So we've got this huge ball of energy, and we're depositing our energy. We're going to get this energy ball smaller and smaller, more condensed energy. And then we condense it into our dantian, our belly. We store it for the day. We're storing energy. One more time over to the right. When the right hand's on top and the left's on the bottom, then now let's compress this ball. You compress the ball right by your belly, dantian, and compact this energy. We're compacting the energy like a snowball, compacting the energy like a snowball. And then hold it right here at the dantian. We're going to inhale. Now lift the cool blue water, like let it cool off your brain, your eyes, cool off the heart, bring the heat back down into that dantian where we want it. Inhale, cooling off the upper body. As you exhale, bringing the heat down. That's what we want. We want the heat down, the water up. This time, tongue to the roof of the mouth. As you exhale, you release the tongue from the roof of the mouth and you bring that heat down. And then one more time, inhale, tongue to the roof of the mouth. We're regulating our thermostat and bringing that heat back down. Hold it here at the dantian. Sway like a bamboo in the wind and let any compression or knotting or tenseness release from your body. Remember, because we're flowing, we're going to flow through our day. When we feel the compression during the day, we stop, we breathe, maybe do a little bit of movement and continue on. Stay in the flow as much as you can. Then find your balance, find your equilibrium. And then inhale, taking the left arm out, gather that energy and create a center line, right down the center line of your body. And then again, other side, creating the center line of your body. Keeping that balance. Remember, we're talking a lot about balance, finding the balance energetically and physically in your body so you can move through your day without any falls or mishaps. Find your center. Inhale and gather. Palms of the hands come together. And bring the hands right at your heart space.